Hello, future leaders. My name is Marcus English. I'm a member of the Black Pilots Association Red-Tailed Hawks Flying Club. The mission of the Red-Tailed Hawks is to introduce and educate underserved and underrepresented youth to the world of aviation and promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEM. Basically, our mission is to expose the world of aviation to as many kids as possible. I myself am a pilot. I am a retired Army helicopter pilot, and I'm also a small airplanes instructor pilot. And of course, there are many other opportunities out there. Examples: a passenger airline pilot, a medical transport pilot, a firefighting pilot, a cargo airplane pilot, and even a news helicopter pilot. I've always enjoyed anything about aviation since being a little child. I loved it when my parents used to take me to the air shows. And now that I've captured my dream, I love it every day. I really enjoy completing the mission for my passengers, whether it's getting a cancer patient to a hospital, getting a soldier back home to their families, or even flying friends and family over the city skyline just for fun. As a flight instructor, I get to do the other thing I love, and that's teach. And I get to expose people to the world of aeronautics. What is aeronautics? It is the science or practice of travel through the air. It's an endless adventure that creates pilots, engineers, and technicians that will study aerodynamics, weather phenomena, and engine functions of an airplane, just to name a few. One of the biggest events that the Red-Tailed Hawks organizes is the Red-Tailed Hawks Fly event that happens in July. This event happens in Boeing Field, Washington, right here in Seattle, and it's a flight training program. And it's sponsored by a generous community and the Pacific Northwest Business Aviation Association. So I'm going to answer some questions, and let's see how excited we can get about the world of aviation. Today's questions are from third graders at McGillivray Elementary. All right, first question: when did you start flying or flight instructing? This is from Aiden, Tatum, Viva, and Eleanor. Well, I joined the Army in 1998, but I didn't become an Army pilot until 2004, and I was a helicopter pilot. It's in Fort Rucker, Alabama. That's where I got my training. 2009 is when I became a helicopter instructor. As I continued my career, I also became an airplane pilot and became an airplane instructor just last year. So it's been about 18 years or so. What was it like in the Army? Evelyn, Ella, and Diane. Well, the Army is like life, period, right? It's what we make out of it. Yes, the Army had scary times, and yes, I was away from my family for a while. I have a 9-year-old daughter that I missed a lot of her birthdays, but there's a lot of good stuff that came with it. I met a lot of friends, I saw a lot of people, and actually helped a lot of people, and it was really good. It's what we make out of it. What country did you train and fight in the Army? From Anya and Jackson. Well, I've been to a lot of places in America, even up in Alaska, but I also have been to a lot of countries in Europe, including Ireland and Germany. I've been to Iraq, Kuwait, been to Afghanistan a couple of times, Uzbekistan, and even Korea. I've seen a lot of different places, a lot of different cultures. What makes the airplane work? From Claire. Okay, Claire, now we're getting into aerodynamics. So the way the engineers build a wing, they build it in a certain way that as the airflow flows over and underneath the wing in a certain way, it will pull the wing up. And so when we pull the wing up, it's going to pull the rest of the plane up. And that's how it works. Which leads me to my next question is, how helicopters fly? From Eli and Sophia. Now I want you to think of that wing as the propeller going around in circles on a helicopter. So a plane, the wing goes forward. On a helicopter, that wind is still going around hitting the wing in a certain way that engineers built it. So when the propeller goes up, the rest of the helicopter goes up. Is it hard flying a plane? From Tatum and Wynn. Well, I always tell my students, if I could do it, anybody can do it. And it only takes one thing: dedication. You study hard, you practice hard, you train hard, all dedicated, anything you can do. What does a mentor do? Well, Nico, I like to make my own definition of what a mentor is, and that is somebody who is building a total person. I don't just like to mentor a pilot who happens to be a good person. I like to mentor a good person who thinks of others beliefs, thinks of others' feelings, who actually strives hard to be successful at everything they do, and they, oh, by the way, they happen to be a very good pilot. And that's what I like to do as a mentor. How many buttons are on a plane? Eleanor and Louisa, this is my favorite question. There is a gajillion buttons on a plane. If you think about your parents' car, how many buttons there are when it comes to the radios, the lights, the windshield wipers, and that's just in a car. In a helicopter, an airplane, depending on how big it is, there are so many buttons. I have a helicopter that carry over 60 people and like 2 Humvees. So you need all kinds of buttons and switches, easily over 100. But the good news is the more buttons, you know, the more capable the plane is or the helicopter, and it's better to have. Well, I'm so sorry I could not get to all your questions. This has been awesome. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Set your goals high. Whatever you think that you can reach farther. Keep reaching past your reach. Thank you, and good luck to you, future leaders.